Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So this is going to be our weekly read from April 27th all the way to May 3rd. Can you believe we're already into May? I'm just saying. Before we get started though, I do just want to take a moment and say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all the ways that you lift this channel up. I feel so blessed to have each one of you here by my side, and I love you back. So, walking into this week, we are greeted with the new moon in Taurus. Now, I did do a separate reading on it that goes into depth about the transformation and what we can do to really tap in and leverage that energy and take advantage of that time of transformation. But I'll briefly summarize it here, but check that video out if you're really looking at how you can utilize that energy to the best of your ability and take advantage of it. But really what it does is it empowers us by impacting our 9th house, which is our house of travel, higher learning, as well as philosophy. And so it empowers us to really question our conditionings and ask ourselves if we've been living our lives by our own terms, or if we've been living our lives by imposed beliefs, expectations, and standards of others. And particularly when it comes to finances, commitments, relationships, it prompts us to really take steps to ensure our long-term stability in a more authentic way that speaks to our hearts and to our purpose. And so walking into this week here, this is really where it's like you are looking at all of those vices. You're looking at potentially even addictions or urges, temptations more importantly, and you're really shining a light on that shadow. You're looking at and seeking that higher illumination, possibly even going into solitude to really take that time to introspect and really determine and separate what's yours versus what's been imposed, right? And this is where you're taking time to also rest. Take time out to really look at what is your true calling, what really speaks to you, not only with prosperity, but with harmony. And again, take those steps. It prompts you to really take those steps and to strategize that long-term stability in a more authentic way. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because on the 27th, the moon is also square with Pluto and with Mars. Now, Pluto's in Aquarius, Mars is in Leo. And so it provides this perfect opportunity to confront your past, confront your identity of what's yours, what's been conditioned, more importantly, embrace change and create a new future that's aligned more correctly with your values. And this is the week really when I was meditating on it, what I got most is this is the week where you're really claiming what's yours with a little bit of luck on your side as well. And so this is where it's like if you've had manipulation, lack of rationality coming in, if you've also been maybe like struggling with emotions in a lot of ways too, being triggered by, just negative emotions like rude behaviors. This is where your judgment could have been really clouded. And again, this is where it's like you're looking at questioning, are you living life by your terms? And in a lot of ways, this square aspect between Pluto, Mars, and the moon, it really provides that perfect opportunity to confront your past, claim what's yours, and more importantly, claim what's yours, balancing your masculine and your feminine energies. And on the 28th, the moon is also going to be sextile with Saturn, which is currently in Pisces. And so this gives us that inner peace. We're tackling that and claiming what's ours in our inner peace through grounding and emotional stability as well. And so you'll really find during this sextile that it drives our initiatives towards action, building on a strong and stable future, And this is where it's like, again, you're really identifying any types of regrets, griefs, loss, holding on to the pasts that have really caused you to like trigger that painful ending. And again, it's like the easy things could be triggering you right now, or seemingly not so easy, particularly when it comes to love, deep-rooted relationships, even family, partnerships, business partners, where you've really wanted to, even coworkers is what I'm getting to. But this is where it's like in the partnerships that you've had, they've really had a painful ending that's occurred, and it's been through deceptions, backstabbings, Gossip. This is where it's like somebody has really wronged you. You've been living life and living your life based on their terms, their expectations. But really, I mean, look at this. This is just, it almost makes me upset. I'm not going to lie. But this is where it's like it's been a huge abuse of power, I guess is how I would put it. Particularly where it's like you trusted this person or these people. You thought that you had a strong and like stable foundation with them. And it was painful to see the truth. It was painful to see and experience and endure the abuse of power, of people just really taking that advantage of it because they could from their authority and dominance. And it really messed with your stability in a lot of ways. And so again, this sextile between the moon and Saturn, it gives us that grounding, that inner peace, and that's where you're truly claiming what's yours with a little bit of luck on your side. And the reason why I say that is because the moon is also conjunct with Uranus during this time, which is currently in Taurus. And so it throws in these unexpected changes. And sometimes to shake things up like that, it basically pushes us to develop our flexibility, adapt in our challenges and to our challenges, to things that basically are outside of our control, and allow that adaptability to really lead the way in how we challenge established norms. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is the time with this conjunction where you're really receiving unexpected breakthroughs and you're becoming more dynamic in that strength in what types of energies you come across and how you handle them, right? You're carrying that wisdom with you from where you saw people were able to take control or able to take dominance over you. And you're not letting that happen, basically. You're respecting and really prioritizing your boundaries. But more importantly, you're standing authentically in your energy and claiming what's truly yours. And this is where it's like if you had been in a place of turmoil, feeling overwhelmed, especially with fears of uncertainty, taking on that additional stress, which was leading to indecisiveness, it was also hindering your own progress, right? This is also looking at manifesting failure because you were stuck in this energy. And it was really a challenge of the ego. What I see in a lot of ways is that where people were meaning to kind of make you fall, it challenged your ego, but you're also not afraid to shed that ego. And this is the time where you're truly claiming what's yours in your humility, in your dynamic aspects, in the shadow and the light. And on the 29th, we are moving with the moon into Gemini, which stimulates that mental agility. The moon also happens to be trine with Pluto. And especially when we have these unexpected breakthroughs walking into the 29th and then having the moon move into that mental agility aspect where we're all about curiosity and open-mindedness, expansion. It really urges us to embrace our individuality and take creative risks. Step confidently into that driver's seat. Excuse me. And utilize innovative problem solving. I apologize for my frogginess. I hate to say it was spring. I have allergies. So there's that. But with this trine between the moon and Pluto, particularly when it comes to financial planning, cultivating harmony in your partnerships, looking at how you're innovating through problems, through challenges, this is where you are taking the driver's seat, and claiming what's yours. And it's with a little bit of luck on your side. So on the 30th, the moon is also conjunct with Jupiter. Both are in Gemini. This is where you're really stepping into your new start. You're claiming what's yours, which is also not only lifting your vibrations, lifting that heart chakra, connecting with that crown, but it offers you a little bit of luck on your side with unlimited potential. And this is really walking boldly, like I say, really taking charge of cultivating harmony in your relationships and in your financial planning. This is where you're looking at those losses, you're looking at those anxieties, what's causing you trouble. You're also looking at what you were blaming yourself for, which really wasn't meant to be yours. You could have even been struggling with sleep aspects. what I see in this as well is, you could have also been like looking at things as like an inevitable defeat in a lot of ways, is particularly when it comes to your root chakra, where it was really like it shook your foundation and it made you question, like, am I on the right path? Am I going to come back from this? Especially with all the unfair advantages and being frustrated by them, right? You're seeing also too that it was basically a defeat due to things that were out of your control. This is where on the 30th, with the moon being conjunct with Jupiter, it encourages us to explore new ideas as it amplifies our luck and our opportunities for expansion through deeper connections and through communication. And this is where you're entering again that new cycle. This is change. It's adapting to uncertainty, but it's also standing against challenge. And as you can see here, he's standing, these guys are walking away. This is where you're claiming what's yours and you're holding that luck on your side, because truly the universe is working with you through this. At this time as well, on the 30th, Venus is also moving into Aries. And I'm still up in the air. Put in the comments if you want me to do this reading, but I've debated on doing a reading on how Venus moving into Aries, particularly when it goes into conjunction with Neptune, oh my goodness, thank you, is going to affect us, because it's actually quite powerful energy. But with Venus moving into Aries, it intensifies our focus on finances and relationships. Again, you're claiming what's yours and you're utilizing the luck that's on your side. Now, this is where the Strength card came out 50-50, right? And so it really speaks to tapping into that magic with the 8, the infinity aspects with manifestation, but more importantly, that control with control of the self and through gentle strength, basically that heart chakra strength that leads to stability in your life and in your ego. So if your ego was challenged, this is where you're standing in the good parts of your ego, where people were really thinking that was going to, I think in some ways, make you falter, I guess is how I would put it. Instead, you're leading with kindness and compassion. You're holding that strength of the ego that truly represents the true ego, choosing love over hate, having the faith and the belief that love triumphs over hate, but also transcends space and time, right? Now, on the other side, this is where it's like you were being too kind before. People were taking your kindness as weakness instead. And because of your impassiveness, it was leading towards basically where you weren't standing against the fight. You were actually avoiding that conflict, using your strength in the wrong way, ignoring your inner strength even too, or possibly even doubting it. Again, this is where you're tapping not only into that Leo energy of that inner strength where you're taming the beast, right? The maiden has very gentle energy, but she's such a nurturer in her love that she can tame that frustration of the inner ego. She can tame those 9 of Swords, those troubles, those anxieties, the pieces of the negative energy that really influence our decisions in a self-sabotaging way. And instead, you're looking at the magic of the gentle strength that only inner peace can give you. And by keeping that inner peace, by claiming what's yours, letting go of what's been imposed upon you, you're standing in your strength at this time. And oh my goodness, sorry about that. Set malfunction. But as Venus moves to Aries, it intensifies our focus on finances and relationships. It introduces a burst of energy, and it's also impulsive energy. So just be forewarned that during this time, you may need to also be mindful of controlling your urges. Again, that's about that self-control. This is a time to really practice grounding, to feel confident that your actions are aligned with your long-term goals and not reactive, but instead responsive, but more importantly, responsive to where you want to go, not the chaos that's surrounding you that you can't control. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is where you are standing and stepping up into your leadership. This is beautiful. You are not only coming through with focusing on your ambition, focusing on building that strong foundation with also most needed boundaries, right? Not letting people influence you or impose upon you or to project on you, right? That's their own energy. That's their own lesson to really work through. Instead, this is a time where you're moving and focusing, aligning with your long-term goals, claiming what's yours. And that's the star. That is where you are shining. And on the 1st, as we move into May, this is the month that brings miracles for Virgos. And so the moon is going to be moving into Cancer. It encourages us to prioritize our emotional well-being as well as our home life. That's why you're seeing those clash of ambitions, right? The chaos surrounding you, the competition, disputes, envy, lack of unity as well. What I'm seeing as well is there's another Leo that you possibly could be working with or struggling with at this time too. With the star, this is where it reverts down to or reduces down to that 8, which is that subtle, gentle strength. That's where you're really finding your emotional calm, that inner well-being, that inner peace, and you're manifesting it into your home life. And the sun during this time is also going to be sextile with the moon, which offers a positive blend of stability and nurture, calm and focus. And so this is where you're seeing what's going on surrounding you, but you're not letting it shake your core. You're not letting it shake your foundation, but instead you're keeping your power in that Libran energy of balance. Now, with the 2 of Swords, like I say, there could be a lot of competition. There could be difficult choices and decisions, stalemates that you've really been working through, confusion as well. The 2 of Swords also speaks to the fact of sometimes looking at the shadows, balancing that energy and embracing that duality, that dynamic polarization. This is where you're really coming into following your intuition and walking instead towards your new beginnings. This is again aligning with what's yours, claiming what's yours with a little bit of luck on your side, and not letting the chaos that surrounds you impose the expectations or throw a bunch of defects or decoys in your path as well, and kind of cause you to stray away. Instead, you're really looking at that scorpionic energy. You're looking at that shadow, and you're embracing it as a personal challenge. Again, you're claiming what's yours, living your life by your terms, not by someone else's. And as I was saying too, on the 2nd, Venus is going to be conjunct with Neptune. Both happen to be in Aries. And so this is where we're truly moving into a period where you'll be dreaming up thrilling new ways to boost your bottom line alongside your significant other or a loved one. This is where you're really connecting at that deeper level in your commitments, your relationships, and your long-term goals, particularly in your finances. Now, I do want to forewarn you too, Neptune will affect your intimacy and joint resources zone. So one drawback with this transit is that you could be more likely to idealize savings or earnings or even investment plans that are not quite the best fit for you. So it's important to really tap into your research savviness. And of course, that's what we do best, right? We organize chaos as Virgos, but it's all about those details. This is the time to tap into that energy. Really check all the facts before you make, oh my goodness, that flew. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Wow, that's cool. Okay, literally this flew over there. I'm just over there. But either way, we pulled out the Wheel of Fortune. This is where you're really looking at your investments and questioning the plans, right? This is the time to really ground yourself with the energy of where you're really finding that inner peace in analyzation and doing what we do best with paying attention to the details when it comes to making our decisions. This is also a time for better connections on a physical, spiritual, and emotional level with our loved ones, whether it be significant other, family. But either way, this is where you're really looking at everything very carefully before you make any commitments. And this is the pinnacle of your success. You're moving very cautiously, but more importantly, you're taking that driver's seat with claiming what's yours. And again, you're reevaluating these types of initial business plans. You're resisting those urges to move hastily. You're researching and, more importantly, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, right, when you're moving forward in your beginning so that you can move forward confidently, and move forward confidently in your commitments, knowing that you are supported. And you are supported, as a side note, on this channel as well. We are here for you too. But this is really where you're utilizing, again, that strength of the maiden, that gentle strength, to walk forward in your confidence and reach towards your passions. Go towards new ventures, particularly when it comes towards new action in personal career, new action in your investments, your earnings, also too your creative endeavors. And that's what's really going to pay off this week as well. So as you claim what's yours, as we walk into May, on May 3rd, the moon is going to be moving over into Leo. It also happens to be trine with Neptune as well at this time, and also with Venus. And so again, both of those guys are in Aries. The moon's in Leo. There's fire across the board. You are sitting in your King of Cups energy. This is where you've got that fire that brings a period of joy, creativity, and positive connections along the way. But it helps us understand others as well as ourselves on a deeper level. We're truly claiming what's ours, and we're standing in our power, which is truly our connection with our compassion. It's emotional management. It's finding that calm in the storm, right? But it's also standing up with your emotional intelligence and leading through servant leadership. This is also where, with your intuition, you could be absolutely aligning with your heart chakra at this time, knowing that you're actively supported, and also, too, holding that space to allow yourself to really be that divine vessel of love in gratitude for all that was, all that is, and all that's on its way. And that's where this energy is truly going to help you. And so transmuting this energy through emotion into your creative products, into how you're innovating. This proves to be the profitable point of the week through your new ventures and through your learning opportunities. But this is where it's like, again, your expansion is coming through within your talent, within your art, within your perfectionism. So this is where the details are really going to help you. The wisdom is going to be in the details. But most of all, in that Virgoan energy, that diligence that you're going to be bringing to the table and claiming what's yours and making your decisions with confidence through really researching everything and embracing that confidence in the solar plexus, that's what's going to lead towards your stability this week. That's what's going to also lead towards you calling judgment and making strong judgment calls, particularly when it comes to your career and to your money. Now, as a side tangent too, in your relationships, it really speaks this week where strength is coming together in your social circles. As you connect on these deeper levels, it's going to really give you that calm of feeling fated, new and current relationships. But this is where you're going to be embracing and creating a cooperative force through your creativity. On the career side of things as well, especially in those relationships, this is where traditional thinking may also clash with your growth-driven mindset. And so now is the time to really innovate in balance. And when it comes to money and financial manners in particular, this is where diversifying your earnings is going to be improved to be the slow and steady, and more importantly, stable foundation that you're possibly needing or looking for at this time. Side tangent too, for people in their health aspects, if you've been really making new lifestyle changes towards your eating habits, exercise routines, developing that structure, embracing your higher calling when it comes to treating your body like the temple that it is, and really invoking that positive energy. In a lot of ways, the choices that you've made are not only paying off, but it's helping you cleanse along the way, and it's helping you tap into that energies of your higher calling. Now, during this week as well, this is the time where, like I say, overall, it's kind of like, particularly when you're looking at diversifying your earnings. Same thing with trusting in your routine, trusting in your new changes that you're making with that confidence. This is where you have all within you and the courage that's needed to really let go of the past, but more importantly, reclaim your majesty. You're stepping into that role of leadership. You're claiming your throne this week. But this is where you're able to really make noble choices for your life and for your family and for your tribe that lead towards success and commitment. And with the Black Jaguar, this is about really reminding yourself, Spirit is reminding you that you indeed are an old soul. This is the time to walk through life with confidence and with grace because you hold the power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. This is the time to create your dreams because success is meant to be yours. I'm just saying. And if that resonates, by all means, share your thoughts. Put a heart in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. But either way, I am sending all my love and light to you this week because it is such a powerful week with claiming what's yours and having a little bit of luck on your side as well. Now, before we go, I do just want to look at the major arcana here for our music and our color therapy pieces. And this is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So what we pulled is 2 E's, 2 A sharps, and a C. And so try playing around with those, particularly when you're doing your meditation this week. Mudras will also be very helpful this week as well during your meditations to really call in that energy, realign your chakras, but also what I'm getting most is really realign in your manifestations. Tap into the power of the energy that's at your fingertips. And so what's really speaking to me right now is it's all about the heart's calling, right? It's that strength, that gentle strength that really lets you shine and take the place, take that role of love leadership as shining as the star that you are. And then color therapy, what we've got here is yellows, purples, and reds. And so try embracing those colors this week as well, especially as you live life on your terms. Claim what's yours. Utilize that luck. Call in that luck that's on your side at this time. It'll really help you with embracing and moving forward with confidence, especially with that strength in the yellow of the sun, as well as in that solar plexus. And so I cannot tell you guys how much I am so appreciative and feel so blessed for each and every one of you guys and all your love and support on this channel. I am sending all my love and light to you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading. Happy May!